Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly command respect while others struggle to be taken seriously? Why do some individuals never face disrespect, yet others constantly feel overlooked, dismissed, or undervalued? The truth is, respect isn't about luck. It's not about being the loudest person in the room, and it's definitely not about trying to please everyone. Respect is something you command, not by force, but by presence, by the way you carry yourself, by the energy you bring, and by the standards you refuse to compromise on. If you've ever felt ignored, disrespected, or treated as if your words don't matter, this video is going to change that. Because by the end, you won't just understand why people disrespect you, you'll know exactly how to stop it forever. And here's the best part. Once you learn this, you will never be treated the same way again. Stay till the end, and I promise you, this shift will be one of the most powerful changes in your life. The hard truth no one tells you. Let's start with something most people don't want to hear. People treat you exactly how you allow them to. It's not about whether you're kind or nice. It's not even about whether you deserve respect, because you do. It's about the signals you unconsciously send to the world. Human psychology is built on patterns. The way you present yourself tells others how to interact with you. If you hesitate, people will walk over you. If you stay quiet when you should speak up, others will assume you have nothing valuable to say. If you accept disrespect even once, you teach people that it's okay to treat you that way. But here's the most powerful realization. You can change this. The moment you decide to stop tolerating disrespect, your energy shifts. People can feel it even before you say a word. It's the way you look at them, the way you pause before you respond, the way you carry yourself. Not with arrogance, but with quiet, unshakable certainty. And when you do that, disrespect stops. Instantly. Why respect is earned, not given. There's a lie that many people believe, that respect should be automatic, that everyone should treat each other with decency no matter what. But the real world doesn't work that way. People test each other. It's human nature. Think about it. When someone meets you, they subconsciously analyze, can I get away with treating this person however I want? Do they stand firm or do they bend? Will they correct me if I cross the line, or will they stay silent? This is why some people never experience disrespect, because the moment someone even considers it, they sense that it won't be tolerated. It's not about being aggressive. It's not about being rude. It's about making it clear, without even saying a word, that you respect yourself too much to accept anything less from others. And when you respect yourself first, the world follow. The first step to changing everything. Right now, there is one decision that will change everything for you. A decision that once made will shift the way people treat you forever. And that decision is this. From today forward, you will no longer tolerate disrespect. Not from strangers, not from coworkers, not from friends, not even from family. It doesn't mean you have to fight. It doesn't mean you have to be rude. It simply means that when someone speaks to you in a way that feels wrong, you will correct it immediately. If someone tries to push your boundaries, you will hold your ground. And most importantly, when someone doesn't respect your value, you will walk away without hesitation, because you know your worth. This is where most people fail. They believe that demanding respect means arguing, shouting, or proving themselves. That's wrong. True respect comes from certainty, from presence, from knowing who you are and refusing to accept anything less. The shift starts now. So, here's the challenge. Decide right now that from this moment forward, you will no longer tolerate anything that undermines your self-worth. Not through words, not through actions, not even through small, subtle disrespect that others might ignore. Because here's the final truth. The world reflects back to you the way you see yourself. The moment you change your internal belief, the external world must adjust to match it. And if you commit to this shift, if you truly embody it, no one will ever disrespect you again. Most people live their whole lives wondering why they're treated poorly. They think if they're nice enough, patient enough, or understanding enough, the world will finally give them the respect they deserve. But that's not how life works. Respect isn't something you wait for, it's not something you beg for, and it's definitely not something the world hands out for free. Respect is a mirror. It reflects exactly what you project. If people disrespect you, It's because on some level, you allow it. Maybe not consciously, maybe not intentionally, but somewhere in your actions, in your words, or in your silence, you have given them permission. And if that hurts to hear, good. Because that pain, that's your wake-up call. How disrespect becomes a pattern. Disrespect doesn't happen in a single moment. It builds over time. It starts with something small, an offhand comment, a joke at your expense, a little push against your boundaries, and when you let it slide, something dangerous happens. You teach people that it's okay. See, human psychology is wired to test limits. People unconsciously push to see how far they can go, not because they're evil, but because they're programmed that way. If they make a joke that disrespects you and you laugh it off, they learn that you don't take yourself seriously. If they interrupt you and you stay quiet, they learn that your words don't matter. If they take advantage of your kindness and you say nothing, they learn that you'll always be available no matter how they treat you. And once they learn that, the pattern repeats. This is why some people always seem to be treated poorly, not because they deserve it, but because they unknowingly reinforce the behavior that allows it to continue. But here's the good news. Just as you can teach people to disrespect you, you can also teach them to respect you. Why people disrespect. It's not about their background. It's not about how much money they have. It's not even about how strong they are physically. It's about something far more powerful, their internal standards. People who are truly respected don't tolerate disrespect. Not once, not ever. They have trained themselves to react the moment a boundary is crossed. And because they respond instantly, they never have to deal with ongoing disrespect. But most people, they make critical mistakes. Here's where it all goes wrong. You don't enforce your standards. You might say you want respect, but when the moment comes, you hesitate. You let things slide. And in that hesitation, you lose power. You seek validation instead of self-acceptance. If your sense of worth is based on how others see you, you will always be vulnerable. Because the moment someone disrespects you, your confidence crumbles. You give too much without expecting anything in return. Respect is built on balance. If you constantly give your time, your energy, and your attention to people who don't appreciate it, they will never value it. The moment you change these patterns, everything shifts. The cost of staying silent, most people don't respond to disrespect because they're afraid of conflict, afraid of making things awkward, afraid of losing relationships. But let's get real for a second. What's the real cost of staying silent? If you let people walk over you, do you feel at peace? If you allow disrespect, do you feel strong? If you stay quiet to keep the peace, do you truly feel respected? No, you feel small, you feel frustrated, you feel invisible, and over time that frustration turns into resentment, not just toward others, but toward yourself. Because deep down, you know you're betraying your own worth. But the moment you decide to stop accepting disrespect, something incredible happens. You start moving differently. You start speaking differently. And the world, it adjusts. How to break the cycle? There's only one way to make sure disrespect never happens again. You must become someone who does not tolerate it. Not someone who complains about it, not someone who wishes things were different, but someone who, through their actions, demands respect without ever needing to ask for it. And here's how you do that. The first time someone crosses the line, correct it immediately. Don't laugh it off. Don't ignore it. Don't wait for it to happen again. Address it instantly. Make your words match your actions. If you say you won't tolerate disrespect, but you continue entertaining people who disrespect you, you send mixed signals. Mean what you say. Remove yourself from environments that drain your self-worth. If a workplace, a friendship, or even a family dynamic constantly undermines your respect and nothing changes despite your efforts, walk away. Your peace is not up for negotiation. Because at the end of the day, you have two choices. Accept disrespect and continue feeling powerless. Set a new standard and change the way the world treats you. And here's the truth most people never realize. The moment you start respecting yourself at the highest level, the world has no choice but to follow. Before a single word leaves your mouth, before you even introduce yourself, people already know how to treat you. Not because they've read your mind, not because they know your story, but because they can feel you. Human psychology is wired for survival. From the moment someone meets you, their subconscious is analyzing, reading the signals you don't even realize you're sending. The way you walk, the way you hold yourself, the way you react when someone interrupts you. Every single detail is a clue, a message, a silent announcement to the world about what you expect and what you'll tolerate. And the truth is, most people's energy screams, I hope they like me. I don't want to upset anyone. I'll stay quiet so I don't cause a problem. That kind of energy attracts one thing, disrespect. But when you walk into a room with an unshakable presence, when your energy says, I respect myself and I expect the same from you, people feel it and they respond to it. Your energy is a reflection of your mindset. Confidence isn't about being the loudest. It's not about forcing people to respect you. It's about something far deeper, the way you see yourself. Because if, deep down, you believe you're not worthy of respect, it shows in your posture, in your voice, in the way you hesitate before speaking. And people pick up on it immediately. Think about the most respected people in the world, the ones who don't even have to try, the ones who walk into a room and instantly everyone listens. What do they all have in common? It's not just their words, it's their presence. They don't rush, they don't fidget, they don't shrink themselves to make others comfortable. They own their space, their time, their energy. And because they respect themselves so deeply, the world has no choice but to match that energy. How people instantly know if you're strong or weak, people decide within seconds whether they respect you. And it's not because of what you say, it's because of what you project. Here's what weak energy looks like: slouched shoulders, avoiding eye contact, nervous movements, fidgeting, looking down, speaking softly, rushing words, over-explaining, laughing at things that aren't funny just to fit in. Every single one of these signals tells the world, I don't fully believe in myself. Now, compare that to strong energy, standing tall, shoulders back, head high, holding eye contact without looking away, speaking slowly, clearly, without apologizing for taking up space, reacting with calmness, never scrambling to prove yourself. This isn't about arrogance. It's about certainty. Certain people don't need to beg for respect because they already carry it within themselves, the silent power of presence. When someone with strong presence enters a room, they don't have to do anything. People notice. They could sit quietly in the corner and still others would feel their energy. Not because they're trying to be intimidating, but because they are so deeply grounded in themselves that their presence alone demands respect. This is the energy that prevents disrespect before it even starts. Because when people sense that you are unshakable, they instinctively know. They can't manipulate you. They can't test you. They can't push your boundaries without consequence. And that is how true respect is earned, without ever needing to ask for it. How to shift your energy instantly. You don't need years of training to develop strong energy. You don't need to change who you are. All you need to do is start with 3 simple shifts. Change your posture. Change your presence. Stand taller. Keep your chin up. Relax your shoulders. Move with certainty. The way you carry your body controls the way your mind feels, and when you move with confidence, your energy follows. Control your voice. Control the room. Stop rushing your words. Speak with intention. Let silence be your strength. People respect those who don't feel the need to prove themselves with excessive talking. Eliminate nervous habits. Stop fidgeting. Stop looking for approval. Stop forcing laughter when something isn't funny. When you do these things, you weaken your presence. But when you move with certainty, people sense your power. The world is constantly watching, constantly responding to the signals you send. The moment you shift your energy, the way people treat you will change instantly. Because the truth is simple. The world sees you exactly how you see yourself. Respect isn't given, it's enforced. Not through anger, not through words alone, but through the invisible lines you draw, your boundaries. Most people live without them. They let others talk over them. They let their time be wasted. They allow disrespect, thinking it's just easier to ignore it. And over time, they wonder why no one values them. Here's the truth. People will treat you exactly how you allow them to. If you don't set boundaries, people won't respect them. If you don't communicate your standards, people won't follow them. If you don't enforce the rules, for how you want to be treated, people will push past them without hesitation. Boundaries are the silent force that separate those who are respected from those who are ignored. The moment you create them, your entire life changes. Why most people struggle with boundaries, there's a reason why so many people fail to set boundaries. Fear. Fear of conflict. Fear of losing relationships. Fear of being seen as difficult. People think if they say no, they'll push others away. That if they demand respect, they'll seem aggressive. That if they stand up for themselves, they'll be judged. But here's what most don't realize. Weak boundaries don't create stronger connections. They create resentment. When you allow disrespect, when you overextend yourself, when you let others dictate your time and energy, a slow poison starts building inside you. You start feeling frustrated, not just with others, but with yourself. Because deep down, you know the truth. You knew you should have spoken up. You knew you should have said no. You knew you deserved better, but you stayed silent. And that silence, that's what destroys self-respect. How to set boundaries without saying a word. Most people think boundaries are about telling others what they can or can't do. But real boundaries, they're about what you will and won't tolerate. And the most powerful boundaries are not spoken. They're felt. The way you carry yourself, the way you respond when someone crosses the line, the way you refuse to engage in things that don't align with your standards. Here's how you set unbreakable boundaries without even needing to explain them. Be firm in your reactions. If someone speaks to you with disrespect, pause. Don't laugh. Don't brush it off. Let them feel the weight of their words. Silence is more powerful than arguing. A single look can be louder than 1,000 words. Stop over-explaining yourself. Weak people feel the need to justify every decision. Strong people don't. If you say no, leave it at that. No apologies, no long explanations, no justifications. No is a complete sentence. Walk away when necessary. The strongest boundary is your absence. If someone consistently disrespects you, remove yourself. Not with anger, not with drama, just with silence. When people realize they no longer have access to you, they learn the hard way. The immediate effect of strong boundaries. The moment you set strong boundaries, something shifts. People feel it. They adjust. They hesitate before speaking to you a certain way. They think twice before wasting your time. And the best part, you won't even have to say anything. Your energy will speak for itself. Because when you enforce boundaries, you send a clear message to the world: I respect myself, and I demand the same from you. There is one thing that separates the respected from the ignored. One trait that instantly shifts the way people treat you, and yet most people overlook it. It's not money. It's not status. It's self-control, the ability to stay calm when others lose their temper, the ability to remain silent when others seek validation, the ability to hold your power instead of reacting emotionally. Weak people explode at the smallest inconvenience. They argue to prove a point. They let their emotions control their responses, and in doing so, they show the world that they are easily moved, easily shaken, easily manipulated. But strong people, they do the opposite. They control their energy. They hold their ground. They remain unshaken no matter what is said, no matter how others behave. And that is what makes them untouchable. Because the moment people realize they can't break you, they start respecting you. Why losing control makes you lose respect, disrespect, isn't always direct. Sometimes it's a test, a passive-aggressive comment, a deliberate interruption, a challenge to see how you react. And the moment you snap, you fail the test. Think about it. When someone insults you and you react with anger, who has the power? Not you. When someone pushes your buttons and you lose your temper, who's in control? Not you. This is what most people don't understand. Disrespect isn't always about words. It's about power. If someone can provoke you, they control you. If they can manipulate your emotions, they own you. If they can make you react, they win. But when you refuse to engage, when you meet disrespect with unshakable calm, that's when the power shifts. The art of non-reaction, silence is stronger than shouting. Composure is more powerful than aggression. And the ability to remain unaffected, that is a skill that separates those who are respected from those who are walked over. Here's how you master non-reaction. Pause before responding. When someone disrespects you, your first instinct is to react. Don't. Take a breath. Let the weight of their words sit in the air. This alone makes people uncomfortable. Look them directly in the eye, without anger, without fear. Just steady, silent eye contact. Weak people look away. Strong people let silence do the talking. Speak with purpose or not at all. If you do respond, do it with calm certainty. No extra words, no raised voice, just direct, controlled statements. Example, instead of defending yourself, simply say, "That doesn't work for me," and leave it at that. The less you react, the more they respect you, because nothing unsettles people more than someone they can't shake. The power of emotional detachment. People who command respect don't just control their words, they control their emotions. They don't let the opinions of others dictate their mood. They don't waste energy proving themselves to people who don't matter. And that is why they hold all the power. See, most people are emotionally attached to how others see them. They need approval. They fear judgment. And because of that, they compromise their standards just to be accepted. But when you detach, when you no longer seek validation, when you no longer care about being liked, you become free. Free from needing others' approval, free from reacting to negativity, free from the control that others try to have over you. And that freedom, that's what makes you powerful. Final thought, the one rule that changes everything. If you remember one thing, let it be this. The strongest person in the room is the one who needs the least from others, not approval, not attention, not validation. When you don't seek, you don't chase. When you don't chase, you don't compromise. And when you don't compromise, you become the one that others respect. Power isn't always about fighting. It isn't about proving yourself or forcing people to respect you. True power is knowing when to walk away. Most people don't understand this. They stay in places where they aren't valued. They tolerate disrespect because they fear losing people. They argue, explain, and defend themselves to those who have already made up their minds. And in doing so, they weaken their own value. Because the moment someone realizes that you need them more than they need you, they stop respecting you. The moment they see that you will accept mistreatment just to stay in their presence, they lose all fear of losing you. But when you have the strength to leave, without argument, without begging, without seeking closure, you send the most powerful message possible. I don't tolerate disrespect, and I don't chase people who don't value me. Why walking away is the ultimate power move. Weak people hold on. Strong people let go. See, most people think respect is earned through words. They believe if they just explain themselves better, if they just prove their worth, if they just try a little harder, others will finally treat them right. But that's not how it works. People don't respect what they can control. They don't value what they take for granted. They don't appreciate what is always available. But the moment you walk away, the moment you remove access, everything changes. Because now they feel your absence. Now they realize what they lost. Now they see that you were never desperate for them. You were simply giving them a chance to act right. And when they fail that test, you leave. The strength in silence walking away doesn't mean making a scene. It doesn't mean explaining why you're leaving. It doesn't mean seeking revenge. It simply means deciding, this is not where I belong, and exiting without a single word. Why? Because silence is power. Silence forces people to reflect. Silence makes them question themselves. Silence leaves them with no excuse, no argument, no defense. And when someone expects you to beg, to argue, to fight for their approval, but instead you just disappear, that's when they feel your worth the most. How to walk away with strength. Decide your worth before anyone else does. If you don't set your value, the world will do it for you. And trust me, they'll always set it lower than you deserve. Give people one chance. No more, no less. If someone disrespects you, don't explain why it's wrong. They already know. If they do it again, remove yourself permanently. No discussion, no warnings. Never argue for your worth. The moment you try to convince someone to respect you, you've already lost. Respect is felt, not negotiated. The strongest people in the world aren't the ones who fight the hardest. They're the ones who know that their time, their presence, their energy is too valuable to waste. And that's why they don't beg, they don't chase, they don't stay where they aren't valued, because they know that the real power isn't in being accepted, it's in knowing when to walk away. Respect doesn't come from money, fame, or status. It comes from how you see yourself. It comes from an unshakable mindset, one that cannot be broken, manipulated, or controlled by others. Most people live their lives seeking approval. They crave validation. They need others to confirm their worth. And because of this, they bend, they adjust, they tolerate, they compromise their own standards just to fit in. But here's the truth. No one respects someone who doesn't respect themselves. You don't earn respect by asking for it. You don't gain power by proving yourself. You command respect the moment you decide that you are enough, without validation, without acceptance, without permission. The psychology of self-respect. People can sense weakness. They can feel insecurity. They know when someone is unsure of themselves. That's why some people get treated like an afterthought, while others walk into a room and immediately command attention without saying a word. It's not about looks. It's not about physical strength. It's about internal certainty. When you know who you are, when you are firm in your beliefs, when you stand by your principles, people feel it. They may not always like it, but they will respect it. Because deep down, everyone wishes they had that same level of certainty. How to build an unshakable mindset. Detach from opinions. The moment you stop caring about what others think of you, you become untouchable, because now their words hold no power, their approval means nothing, and their judgment, it's irrelevant. Make decisions without hesitation. Weak people second-guess themselves. Strong people decide and move forward. When you are firm in your choices, others will follow. Stop apologizing for who you are. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's certainty. When you walk through life knowing your worth, you stop justifying your existence. The secret weapon, indifference. Want to know the one thing that instantly makes people respect you? Indifference. Indifference to negativity, indifference to drama, indifference to those who try to bring you down. Because when people realize that nothing shakes you, nothing controls you, nothing breaks you, they have no choice but to respect you. And the best part, you won't even have to ask for it. Respect doesn't come from being liked. It doesn't come from being nice. It comes from setting boundaries, from making it clear what you will and will not accept. Most people struggle with this. They fear disappointing others. They don't want to seem rude. They avoid confrontation at all costs. And because of that, they allow people to overstep, to take advantage, to disrespect them over and over again. But here's the truth. People treat you how you allow them to treat you. If you let people speak to you in a disrespectful way, they will continue. If you tolerate manipulation, it will never stop. If you always say yes when you want to say no, you will always be taken for granted. And whose fault is that? Not theirs, yours. Because you never made it clear what is and isn't acceptable. Why boundaries demand respect, weak people seek approval. Strong people set limits. See, most people think being respected means being liked. That's why they say yes to everything. That's why they try to please everyone. That's why they let people push their limits without speaking up. But those who are truly respected, they do the opposite. They are not afraid to say no. They don't explain themselves. They don't justify their decisions. And that's why people respect them, because they see that this is a person who values themselves enough to set standards. People may not always like it, but they will respect it. Because deep down, everyone wishes they had the courage to do the same. How to set boundaries with strength. Be clear and direct. If someone crosses the line, don't ignore it. Address it immediately. Example, if someone speaks to you in a disrespectful way, don't laugh it off. Simply say, I don't allow people to talk to me like that. Never over-explain. The moment you start justifying your boundaries, you weaken them. You don't need permission to set limits. You don't need approval to protect your peace. Be willing to walk away. The most powerful boundary isn't what you say, it's what you do. If someone refuses to respect your limits, remove them from your life, No debate, no discussion. Boundaries are your shield. The world will test you. People will push you. They will see how much they can get away with. But when you stand firm, when you refuse to bend, when you make it clear that you will not tolerate disrespect, no matter who it is, no matter the situation, that's when you become untouchable. Some people think respect is about dominance, about proving you're the toughest, the loudest, the most powerful. But real respect, it comes from silent strength, the kind of presence that speaks louder than words. Look around. The most respected people in any room are not the ones shouting for attention. They are the ones who don't need attention. They don't demand respect. They command it. How? By being unshakable. They don't react emotionally. They don't over-explain. They don't waste time proving themselves because they know who they are. And that certainty, it makes people take notice. The power of controlled reactions. Most people are easy to control. Push the right buttons and they explode. Say the wrong thing and they break down. Challenge them and they instantly become defensive. That's why they don't get respect. Because if someone can control your emotions, they control you. But the moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop letting others pull you into their games, that's when you become powerful. Because now you are unpredictable. And unpredictability makes people uneasy. It forces them to respect you because they don't know how you'll respond. How to develop silent strength. Speak less, observe more. Most people talk too much, revealing their weaknesses. The less you say, the more people wonder what you're thinking. Never show desperation. The second you look needy, whether for approval, attention, or validation, you lose power. The strongest people don't chase, they attract. Master your emotions. Never let anyone see they've gotten under your skin. If someone insults you, smile. If they challenge you, stay calm. Nothing unsettles people more than someone who refuses to react. The presence that makes people respect you. Respect isn't about words. It isn't about proving yourself. It's about presence, the way you carry yourself, the way you control your emotions, the way you show the world that you don't seek validation from anyone. Because the moment people see that you are self-sufficient, that you don't crave attention, that you are completely at peace with yourself, that's when they have no choice but to respect you. Respect isn't given to those who doubt themselves. It isn't handed to those who hesitate. It is earned by those who walk through life with unshakable confidence, the kind that can't be faked, can't be borrowed, and can't be broken. Confidence is not arrogance. It's not about looking down on others. True confidence is knowing who you are, knowing what you stand for, and never apologizing for it. Most people lack confidence because they spend their lives seeking permission. Permission to be themselves, permission to take action, permission to succeed. They hesitate, overthink, and wait for the perfect moment. And in doing so, they give their power away. But those who are respected, they don't wait. They don't hesitate. They move. They speak with certainty. They act with purpose. They trust themselves even when no one else does. And that certainty, that self-trust, it demands respect. Why confidence is the ultimate weapon. Most people don't know what they want. They live on autopilot, following the crowd, afraid to make mistakes. And because of that, they respect those who do know what they want. Confidence is rare. It stands out. It shakes people awake. Because when someone walks into a room completely comfortable with themselves, without trying to impress anyone, without seeking approval, people notice. They don't always like it, but they respect it. Why? Because deep down they wish they had the same level of self-trust. How to build unbreakable confidence? Decide that you are enough right now. Confidence isn't something you wait to have, it's something you decide to have. Stop waiting to be ready. Stop waiting for validation. You are enough as you are. Never explain yourself. Weak people over-explain their choices. Confident people don't feel the need to. If you make a decision, stand by it. If you believe in something, own it. Walk, talk, and move like you belong. Body language speaks louder than words. Shoulders back, head high, eye contact strong. Move like someone who belongs anywhere they go. Confidence separates you from the weak. Respect isn't about words. It's about how you carry yourself. The moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop hesitating, The moment you stop needing approval, that's the moment people have no choice but to respect you, because they can feel your certainty. And certainty, that's what separates the strong from the weak. There's one move that instantly demands respect, one action that separates the weak from the strong, one decision that will show the world you are not someone to be played with. The ability to walk away. Most people stay. They stay in toxic relationships. They stay in friendships that drain them. They stay in jobs that make them miserable. They stay in situations where they are disrespected because they are afraid to be alone, afraid of the unknown, afraid that if they walk away, they might not find something better. And that's why they are stuck. But those who are truly respected, they don't beg for anyone's time. They don't cling to situations that no longer serve them. They don't tolerate disrespect, not for a second. They simply walk away. Why? Walking away is the ultimate power move. Respect is about power. And the greatest power you can have over someone is the power to leave. Because when you walk away, you send a clear message. I don't need you. I am not dependent on anyone. I will not tolerate anything less than what I deserve. And that energy, it shakes people. It forces them to respect you, even if they don't want to. Because deep down, they know they need you more than you need them. How to master the art of walking away? Detach from attachment. Stop fearing loss. Stop clinging to people, places, or things that don't respect you. When you learn to be truly self-sufficient, no one can control you. Recognize when enough is enough. The first time someone disrespects you, call it out. The second time, walk away. No arguments, no begging, no explaining, just leave. Never make threats, just take action. Weak people say, if you do this again, I'm gone. Strong people just go. When your actions speak louder than your words, people will know you mean business. Walking away makes you untouchable. The world is filled with people who settle, who accept mistreatment, who tolerate disrespect, who stay where they are not valued. But the moment you refuse to accept less than you deserve, the moment you show that you will never beg, never plead, never tolerate, the moment you make it clear that you are willing to walk away from anything and anyone that does not respect you, that's when you become truly untouchable. Respect isn't just about how you act, it's about how you think. Most people don't demand respect because they don't even respect themselves. They walk through life doubting their worth, questioning their decisions, and second-guessing everything they do. And when you don't respect yourself, no one else will either, because the world is a mirror. It reflects back what you believe about yourself. If you think you're weak, the world will treat you like you are. If you think you deserve to be disrespected, people will walk all over you. If you think you are powerless, no one will ever hand you power. But the moment you change your mindset, the moment you decide that you are someone worthy of respect, that's when everything changes. Because the world will only start respecting you when you respect yourself first. How to build a mindset that demands respect. Stop apologizing for who you are. Weak people feel guilty for being themselves. Strong people own who they are. You don't need permission to exist. You don't need approval to take up space. Be unapologetic about who you are. Set your own standards. Most people live by society's rules, afraid to break them, but real respect comes from those who set their own. Decide what you will and will not accept in your life, and never lower your standards for anyone. Eliminate self-doubt. Every time you doubt yourself, you weaken your power. Every time you hesitate, you lose respect. Make decisions and stick to them. Speak with certainty. Move with confidence. Invest in your mind. Knowledge is power. The more you learn, the more control you have over your life. Read, study, grow. A powerful mind is impossible to ignore. Self-respect creates external respect. The world does not decide your worth, you do. If you carry yourself like someone who deserves respect, people will respect you. If you speak like someone who is certain, people will believe in you. If you think like someone who is powerful, the world will treat you as such. But it starts with you. It starts with your mindset. Because once you truly respect yourself, the world will have no choice but to do the same. Most people talk too much. They explain too much. They feel the need to justify themselves, to defend their actions, to fill every moment with words. But the more you talk, the weaker you seem. Because true power doesn't come from words. It comes from presence, from the ability to remain calm, collected, and unshaken, no matter what is happening around you. Silence is intimidating. It makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to think. It puts them on edge. And that's why it's one of the most powerful tools you can use. When you master the power of silence, people will respect you without you even saying a word. Why silence commands respect? It makes people value your words. When you speak less, people listen more. If you talk all the time, your words lose meaning. But when you stay silent and only speak when necessary, every word you say carries weight. It keeps people guessing. When you don't reveal everything, people don't know what you're thinking. And when they don't know what you're thinking, they can't control you. Mystery is powerful. Unpredictability is intimidating. Keep people wondering. It makes you unreactive. Weak people react to everything. They get emotional, they argue, they let others control their mood. But strong people, they stay silent, they observe. They never let emotions control them. It forces others to reveal themselves. When you stay quiet, others start talking. They start revealing their thoughts, their weaknesses, their insecurities. The less you say, the more you learn. How to use silence as a weapon. Pause before speaking. Before you say anything, take a moment. Think. Let silence settle in. People will hang on to your every word, waiting for what you have to say. Never explain yourself. If you make a decision, stand by it. No explanations, no justifications. Confident people don't seek approval, they act. Use silence to handle disrespect. When someone disrespects you, don't argue, don't react, just stare. Just wait, just stay silent. That silence will be louder than any comeback you could ever say. Listen more than you talk. The most powerful people in any room are the ones who observe. They watch, they listen, they learn. When you understand everything but reveal nothing, you hold all the power. Silence separates the strong from the weak. Most people feel the need to prove themselves, to talk, to explain, to convince others of their worth. But the truly powerful, they don't need to prove anything. They don't need validation. They don't need to explain themselves because their presence alone is enough. Master the power of silence and watch how the world starts respecting you without you even asking for it. Most people struggle with one simple word, a word that could change their life, a word that could instantly command respect. That word is no. Weak people can't say it. They agree to things they don't want to do. They tolerate situations that drain them. They allow others to control their time, their energy, and their life because they are afraid to say no. But the moment you learn to say it, the moment you stop bending to everyone's demands, that's the moment you take back your power. Because respect isn't given to those who always say yes. Respect is given to those who know when to say no. Why no is the most powerful word you can use. It sets boundaries. People will push you as far as you let them. If you never say no, they will take advantage of you. But when you set clear boundaries, people will learn to respect them or lose access to you. It makes people value your time. If you always say yes, people assume your time isn't valuable. But when you say no to things that don't serve you, people realize that your time is precious and they start treating it that way. It prevents manipulation. Manipulators thrive on people who can't say no. They guilt trip, pressure, and persuade. But when you confidently reject what doesn't serve you, manipulators lose all their power over you. It shows self-respect. If you don't respect your own limits, no one else will. Saying no isn't rude. It's a declaration that you respect yourself too much to be used. How to say no without guilt. Be direct. Don't over-explain. Don't justify. Just say it. No, I'm not interested. No, I can't do that. No, I don't have time. The stronger you say it, the less people will push back. Drop the fear of disappointing others. People will always want more from you. That's not your problem. Your only responsibility is to do what's best for you. Use no to filter out the wrong people. The right people will respect your boundaries. The wrong people will get angry when you say no. Let them go. Anyone who doesn't respect your no never respected you to begin with. Remember, every yes to others is a no to yourself. Every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you are sacrificing yourself. But when you say no, you are choosing yourself. Saying no commands instant respect. Weak people chase approval. They say yes to everything, hoping to be liked. But strong people, they know that respect is worth more than approval. They know that boundaries are worth more than validation. They know that saying no is one of the strongest moves they can make. Because the moment you stop seeking to please everyone is the moment people start respecting you for real. There's one final move that separates those who are respected from those who are taken for granted. It's the ability to walk away. Most people cling. They hold on to relationships that drain them. They beg for validation. They tolerate disrespect because they fear being alone. But the ones who are truly powerful, they do the opposite. They walk away without anger, without argument, without a second thought. And when they do, they leave a silence so loud that it forces others to feel their absence. Why? Walking away is the ultimate power move. It shows you are not dependent on anyone. Neediness destroys respect. The moment people sense you can't live without them, they lose respect for you. But when you walk away without hesitation, people realize that you were a choice, not a necessity. It forces people to reflect. When you stay and argue, people tune you out. They don't take you seriously. But when you leave, the silence speaks for itself. It makes them think about what they lost. It eliminates those who don't value you. Anyone who lets you walk away without trying to keep you never truly valued you. Your time is too precious to be wasted on people who don't care. It shifts the power dynamic. The one who needs less always has the power. The one who can walk away without hesitation is always the one who is respected the most. When to walk away without looking back? When respect is no longer there. The moment someone stops respecting you, you leave. No warnings, no negotiations. Respect is the foundation of every relationship. Without it, nothing else matters. When your boundaries are crossed. If you've set a line and someone keeps crossing it, you don't argue, you don't explain, you just leave. They will either learn your value or lose access to you forever. When you are no longer valued. If someone treats you as an option, show them what life looks like without you in it. Distance teaches people what presence never could. When they expect you to tolerate less than you deserve, the moment someone thinks you'll stay no matter how they treat you, you prove them wrong. They can either step up or watch you walk away. The power of absence, most people chase. They beg for attention. They try to force others to see their worth. But the ones who are truly respected, they let their absence do the talking. They don't argue. They don't explain. They don't fight for a place where they are not valued, because they know this. The ones who truly respect you will never put you in a position where you have to walk away.